Cheers, everyone.
Let's hope no one
breaks up.
And no one walks out.
That would be exciting.
I haven't got far to walk.
That's the goal.
All right.
Wait, you have to. Good luck.
Sorry.
Even if we don't want to. Oh, sorry, guys.
She's strong.
It is.
All right.
Oh, I didn't realise it was on there.
Where were you?
I didn't realise you put it on there. I'm so excited. Next time there needs to be like a full. It needs to be loud. We all have to walk in like it's an episode.
Absolutely is.
It's like,
wow.
there, see, and then you see it.
How do you feel about the intro, everyone?
Love it.
We love it. We can't get enough of it.
S-
Well, this is a little different. We're doing our first ever couples podcast episode.
and we don't know if we're excited or afraid.
We're predicting a breakup. We're predicting a walkout. We're predicting hot content.
We're okay with a walkout.
We're okay with a walkout.
Yeah.
We're not okay with a breakup.
Walkouts are healthy.
Yeah. I think immediate anger and frustration. If that's what you need to do, great. Go
We
on.
just ask for understanding. Always.
So we've all got some questions that we've researched or we've written down. We haven't shown each other the questions for the most part.
So I think we're just going to go around in a circle and just go through the questions really and just dice them out.
So I think I'm assuming mine are quite light-hearted, or I guess not. No one's going to storm out. I don't think. You never know.
You never know.
Might go down there. Well, first, I guess let's
Depends on the delivery and the approach too.
introduce.
Yeah, let's introduce the boys.
Yeah, sorry guys.
You know us.
We got carried away.
So we've got my partner Nick here, previous guest.
Hello, everyone.
How did we introduce him previously? And no one hate me for the way I introduced him previously. If you ever get to listen to that episode, we're just having a laugh, guys.
We cut that out.
I think he's amazing.
Episode.
And we have Ash here, our
producer. Let's put a label on it.
our producer.
He
That's
does all the work.
Who
Let's be real.
pulls all the hard yards to make it look pretty and do all the make sure everything's in frame and everything sounds good.
Make sure the video actually links up with the audio. That's hard enough, I
He's
think.
like a fucking director.
Thanks.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
In a good way. In a good way.
I've got your back, Ash. Yeah, cheers, mate.
So today we're going to bring you the couple special, and we'd like to have more couple special with other couples as well.
Yeah, I'd love to
on
get a
here,
different
and other
couple.
dynamics of couples as well. Because I guess maybe our dynamics. Well, we're about to find out.
We don't know.
I don't want to
Strap yourselves
I don't
in.
want to put anyone in a box.
It's a big call.
But I think that we're pretty, maybe possibly pretty average. So we'd be interested to. Well, we'll see what the episode brings. But yeah, I guess shall we hit it off with the first question and see?
Put the kids to bed.
See,
Get comfy.
Yeah, this is
sit.
definitely. Yeah.
I think we got half an hour before the kids have to go to bed. Let's start light. I think. I don't know. Mate, put them to bed. Maybe.
I think it's best to put him to
I
sleep.
think it's put them to sleep. Grab your nightcap and grab your partner and shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Really, that's all you got to do.
See, and like if
In a
you're-
good way. You don't just
Shut up and listen, guys.
And note down the questions. Talk about it with your partner if they're not with you.
And if you maybe have a question for your partner that you don't want to ask them directly,
Tell us.
send it to us. Let's digest it. We'll keep you a secret. We'll name you Amber from Northbridge. That
Amber.
means
Shout out to Amber.
The fuck is Amber?
Shout out to Amber.
She sounds hot.
she can,
I know, right?
exactly. So
Send a pic.
she can be Amber from Northbridge.
Just DM me.
That's the anonymous
That's
sexy.
Ash Cutmore WA on Instagram if you want to.
Yeah, let us know what you maybe wanted to bring up in front of them, but too scared to actually bring it up.
Yeah. 100%.
Send it in. We'll talk about it. We'll be the topic of conversation. Use us to get through it.
Right. All right, I'm going to start lighthearted. So
All right, let's do it, Tay.
I'm first going to ask Nick this question.
We've all got questions. So
Yeah.
Tay's got some, I've got some, Ash has got some, and so does Nick. So we're all going to contribute to today's
to each other's
questions, and we'll see where
All
it
right.
takes us.
So first, I'll directly ask Nick, and then I guess we'll pan over to you two to answer the same question.
All right, let's do it.
So my question is, how does your current relationship with me compare to how you imagined your relationship growing up?
Okay. How does it compare growing up?
I'm fucking done.
How
Put
long
the
have we
kids to
got?
bed, guys.
I don't even know if I got expectations when I was growing up, like to have it like in a relationship. Like probably not till I probably matured a bit more, probably late 20s.
Yep.
So would you take that?
Yeah.
Would you
I
take
think,
Yeah,
that?
I think
absolutely.
anything pre your relationship, your expectation.
Like to be honest, 18, maybe even earlier, 17 to 25, 26. I was probably considered a bit of a ladies' favourite.
I thought you were going to say I was probably
Wait.
considered a bit of a loser.
Did you say ladies' favourite?
Yeah, you might cut
okay,
out. You might
Lay's.
cut out.
I thought you said Lay's favourite, and I was like, I don't know if that meant you were getting laid and you were lazy about it. I was like, what lingo
I
is
should
this?
actually. Oh,
I was like, wait, is this chew the fat kind of thing? I don't know. Something Perth
I don't want to
people
come
do?
across as cocky. I guess
Okay.
I had a lot of friendships
With women.
with women,
Okay.
and
So you got along with the women.
yeah, but I think the friendships I understood what women actually required
Okay.
in a good way. So then after 25 plus,
What were your expectations?
what before?
Or what did you think it would look like?
Of a relationship.
Just of a
though,
relationship.
specifically.
Just
of,
of-
Or
of your, I guess, of your future, probably long-term relationship.
Yeah, well,
Your most significant.
your baby mama.
I would just say 100% would have to support.
What does it look like? Okay, if you were
Wow,
to go...
I didn't think it was that hard.
I know, if you were to go, okay, I've woken up, I'm about to open my eyes, I'm with the woman who I'm spending the rest of my life with, bam.
But hang on, the question
Did you bring your
was, how
coffee
does
to
it
bed?
compare from then to now?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does it look
what was
like?
your expectation?
Back then,
Yeah.
there wasn't any. 'Cause I was
You
just-
had none.
No.
That's fucking boring.
So
Sorry, guys. Good night.
So
Thank you.
Taylor, what
Break the
expectations
kids back
did you
up.
have?
When I put this down to ask, I did think about what I would say if someone asked me, and I think it would have to be right now when you are young or growing up and picturing your future relationship. I think you always flash forward to house with children and that point, and I have to say I probably don't know yet, because you don't think about that growth in between where you are and actually getting to the white picket fence with the kids scene.
Yeah.
You know, you don't actually think about all the shit you have to go through to get to,
get to that, yeah.
So it's probably a bit too early to compare the two, because, you know, I have no children and that, but
But do you have the desire to have that? Is that the desire? Is that, would you say, is that the end goal?
I don't put any timelines on my life.
Okay.
I never have. I would say it probably is, but I wouldn't be disappointed if it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah. Why?
I don't.
Because the expectation
I think
is
because if you put expectation on yourself, that's when you are
get
disappointed. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's what I've seen across the board. Like
Absolutely.
I know people that are in their early 20s, like hanging for their partner to propose to them, and I'm like, I've never been like that. I've never wanted to live like that. And when you start putting time frames on your own life, like it's critical. Like, no.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, when you get disappointed, and I think it's probably too early because I've never thought about the now time. Not that I have any complaints with the now time, but
Yeah, but you never had any expectations.
but growing up, you never think, oh God, I'm going to have this many breakups and this many arguments, like, you know, before I get to a point where I'm like, are you ever settled? I don't know. I'm not sure that that's a thing.
I think that's the number one thing for me that I've learned.
The expectation, bringing it back?
Well, I thought like I would feel 35. I thought 35 looked a certain way.
35 was 2 kids taking them to school every day. Yeah.
But I can't, not that 2 kids and taking them to school every day isn't amazing, but for my point where I'm in my life, I couldn't think of anything.
Yes.
Worse.
Worse.
But
at the moment, maybe next year I might feel very different, but at this very point in time, I don't think I could, that's something I could manage. Well, maybe because I just don't feel like I could manage it.
Can't manage myself.
Like I just don't, I just don't feel like I could manage it. But like having gone down that, like I think, I guess to be quite open, Ash and I have had issues with that because I had the expectation of that I wanted to be married or engaged at a certain time in my life.
And you set that
deadline. And I set that deadline.
No one else, you did that.
Yeah, and I don't even know why or where that concept came from, and I don't even actually truly understand it. I know a lot of people are going to say you totally are saying this because you didn't get it, because you didn't get your deadline, so therefore that's why you think of excuses about your deadline. So I completely understand that. I would probably say that to some of my friends as well. I'd probably be like,
But would you say that, going back to your question, that's what you were thinking
then?
Yeah, I thought
when you
that.
were 18?
Well, 30.
Like your whole life.
No,
Yeah.
but was that
From
your
18
expectation when you were younger compared to now?
Oh, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I thought my mum had me at 31, so I thought, if anything, I'm going to be just like her. Like, I thought, oh, great age. Like, I thought she was, like, an old enough age. Like, I'll do that. Like, that I thought that was an old enough age for it to fit with me. But I like, now that I look upon it, I don't.
Well, I think my mum had me at my age now, and she already had a child then as well. And like right now, I'm like, really?
Yeah, but don't you think? Yeah, like that's what's crazy. Like, what happened to us? Like, are we not mentally like what? Like, do we need to mentally?
No, we're too fucking selfish.
Yeah,
That's what
mentally
it is.
harden the fuck up.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you, Ash?
Oof. We've got our first storm out, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I think, well, obviously, much like Ale as well, like maybe Nick would have had the same thing as well. Like culturally,
Yeah.
you would almost think that, well, my expectation is when I got married, I'd be the one working. Wife would be the one staying home, looking after the kids, being, I guess, I wouldn't say a housewife.
Traditional.
But yeah, being
family
traditional,
relationship.
you know, like I look after the income, she looks after the family. Like that joke, you know, home economics or whatever the hell you want to call it. Like that's what Ale would do. She'd be the one holding the shit down at home and I would go to work. Not that Ale was in the picture back then, but that was the traditional thing.
Raised.
Yeah.
But as well for me as well, like I've always said I'm never going to have a child before I'm 30.
Wow.
Knowing like we've had this conversation at
Yeah.
the start of our relationship, never would. My mum had me when she was 19. She had my sister when she was 22. So she was young and had 2 kids. And then she had my brother when she was in her
22.
40s.
I was at the Dean nightclub every Friday and Saturday night.
22, I was hardly home.
I was on
Exactly.
stage.
I just
I was
wonder,
at
like,
kick-ons.
are we not mentally mature enough? Like, I wonder that. Like,
I think it's that now it's not so, like, I know that in some cases it's not so much an expectation to go through that pattern. And yeah, fine, we can rebel and get away with it. And it's not, I don't know, we're selfish and we truly
I
are.
like to think I'm not a selfish.
So I
No,
think
but
Yeah.
we
I'm
are.
going to cut in and I'm
Okay.
going to put my question on top.
Okay, go.
So now there's like 2 questions going. I think it could tie in.
Yeah.
Why do you think relationships in the last 2 decades are simply not lasting? Are we overcomplicating them? Question mark.
I don't
Yes.
think we're
Fuck, where's my
overcomplicating them. I definitely don't think it's an overcomplication. I think it's people have this expectation of what their life is supposed to be. You're supposed to go to primary school, go to high school, get married, and life's great. You meet who's supposed to know that you're going to meet someone at 16 and then spend.
But you do meet someone at 16.
Yeah, some people do, but
But
it's not the same.
norm.
It's not the norm. Like, look at all these, I guess, older people that are with their, I don't know, childhood sweetheart, that have had kids, had families. They're probably sleeping in different rooms of the house.
I think you have more options now. You have the more options at the palm of your hand.
Palm of your hand. Yeah.
Because before, your parents, I know with my parents anyway, my mum married the guy who lived up the street because you didn't travel.
And you had to wait for like every second Saturday to meet him at the dance.
Exactly.
And if you didn't rock up,
yeah, and your whole village went to that one fucking dance. Like, and there was only like, you know what I mean? You grew up with them your whole life. I feel like now we have so much we have so much choice. We're spoiled for choice.
I think it's mainly your question straight answered is then when relationships lasted more so, people it was shamed to break up. It was frowned upon to get a divorce. Now it's the norm. Fuck, crack on. Get married and get a divorce 3 months later. It doesn't matter.
Have a divorce party.
People don't put in the work to keep the relationship going.
The perception of happiness is higher.
It's like something happens, I have to leave him. It wasn't like that. It was like, back then it was like, what's everyone going to think if I leave him? Which is the opposite extreme. But in the middle somewhere, there should be okay, what work do we both have to put in to make this relationship work?
Say, do you think like there's a middle ground where you both like, you know, like punch yourself, like Taylor's famous words when shit gets really hard, you just punch yourself in the dick and get over it. Like I think there's lots of elements. We're a bit soft.
Yeah,
we're a bit soft.
Oh, definitely.
I'm like, fuck me, you're going to be upset, but sensitive. You don't need to dump him.
Sensitive. I'm a bit sensitive all the time.
Very
I get
sensitive.
sensitive when someone doesn't say please and thank you. Like, come on, man.
You know who you are. You've been told.
All the time.
Yeah, Amber from Northbridge. You bitch. Sorry, you're not a bitch, Amber.
Even if I'm asking for a drink from the bartender and I hand them my money and they say please, thank you, like I'm offended.
Where is it?
Red.
I'm offended.
Wow, I've got to learn that. Yeah, I think it's yes, if you're going to put in work to make the relationship work, yes, great. But if you have a way out that's really easy and no one's going to judge you, and you might even have another option, people leave.
If you're not going to judge yourself, because nobody judge you. Like the elements of nobody, like nobody's change. The nobody's in your life change.
I think it's probably a self-reflection moment.
Yeah. And
how you look at yourself and especially like, I guess people in social groups, church groups, oh no, like that's frowned upon, blah, 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 whole nother topic. But
a whole nother can of worms.
Might have been covered on the After Dark episode.
Which is never going to be released.
Live. It's never going live, we've decided.
Only sneak peeks.
I think now, like, I can't even imagine, this sounds really bad, going to someone's wedding and thinking, oh, fuck, they're going to be together forever. Because it's just not a thing at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, who is forever? Is that even a thing? You need to evolve with the person you're with in order to stay with them.
Weddings need to be more realistic then?
Like, I think people need to be more realistic.
Yeah, I was going to say the
married.
same. I think people need to be more realistic. I think ones that last forever are the ones that actually adapt and change within their relationship.
It's growing together.
Like, say, for example, us.
Yeah.
I'm a stubborn prick. If I was going to continue to be stubborn.
Alex is sensitive.
And Alex, exactly. And if I wasn't going to be, I guess, empathetic to that and continue to be stubborn, not going to last.
Yeah.
There's got to be compromise. And if you're not willing to compromise,
is the word.
Then it's not going to happen.
That's the word.
Whereas I guess in the olden times, it would be like, there was all these pressures of people saying, oh, well, who cares? What's Maria going to think down the road?
Yeah.
What about the kids? Oh, you got to do it for the children. They're fucking 32, mate.
Whereas
they're great.
No.
You know what I mean?
They're doing all right.
They're doing all right. You got fucking 4 grandkids already. Like, I think they're safe. They're worrying about their own family.
I think we're the generation of the kids, and I think we can. I know that I can personally vouch that I wish that my parents lived happier within themselves. From an age when I can think when I was probably like from the earlier age that I can think I was like 8 years old, that maybe I can think maybe they might have been better not together.
So you think that's a big influence on who you are and your viewpoint now?
Yeah, like I think like we're the generation that doesn't want to put our children through that or put ourselves through that either, because I think a lot of parents, you're realizing that they are getting divorced a lot later, or they are sleeping in separate rooms, or they're retired now and they actually don't want to spend time with each other. And I just think like that's the total opposite of what I would want. So, and all I would want is for my parents to be content and happy. So like I think to myself, like I wish you chose your happiness because that would have made me happier to look at.
Absolutely, yeah,
That's
a
kind
good
of
point.
thing. Yeah, like
I'm absolutely not qualified to speak on that. My parents are still together, but I agree.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned this. I don't know what episode, but I think a big impact on my expectations in my future relationships and where I plan on going in life is that my parents aren't married.
I think your parents have been quite realistic
They're
about
together.
the situation.
Like who? I think I asked my dad one day, "Why don't you get married?" And Dad said, "What if she says no?" And I was
so they're not
like,
even engaged.
I think they're engaged, like from back in the day. But
Yeah.
she doesn't wear a ring.
He's probably had a moment when going, "You're gonna
Oh,
marry
yeah,
me,
go
doll?
on, go on, doll. Come on, Jazz.
Come on.
She's like, "Oh, fucking David, go to bed." Oh, maybe you. No, fuck, don't touch
Turn
me.
that light off.
Do not touch me.
What about you, Dick?
I'm just thinking. I'm going to go back and answer your question because, I think, and it ties in with the point that you made, referring to your parents. My parents divorced when I was 12, and I think this ties in with comparing back then. Like I saw it was shit. It was like 4 years
it
of
was
fighting.
so shit.
So
Such a long period of
guess
time.
from 18 to 25, I was like, there is no way I'm getting married because shit. Like I'm not gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think the second part of the answer would need to be the individual needs to know who they are and what they want before they enter a relationship. Because if that's not set,
But even if they change, they need to be able to communicate it. I think
when you say change,
if you enter a relationship with someone, you know who you are. But if a viewpoint changes or like, okay, I'm growing in this, you need to be able to say, this is where I'm going. Do you want to come?
For sure.
And both parties need to
Your
meet in the
But what I'm
expectations
saying is you need to be able to identify that first before you get into a relationship.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to communicate.
Yes.
Communication is the key.
Huge.
I'm great at
Talking.
communicating now.
I don't think I'm very good at it.
Are you the type that only communicates if you're asked a question?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's
What
still
do you- what
communicating.
do you-
I can't sleep unless it's
Unless it's
Yeah, okay, we've got Alex and Nick and then we've got me and Ash. We're
Yeah.
But if I've got a problem with something, I'll bring it
Oh,
up.
same.
But
I'll
if
bring
I've
up
got
a
a-
problem, but if someone has a problem with me, I'm not approaching it unless they
No,
do.
100% no. Hell fucking no. Why the fuck would you do that for?
We've got a storm out that we didn't expect.
That would be the most ridiculous thing to do. Because and then you're creating a drama. What if
That's how I look at it.
what if they actually don't have a problem and you're just in your feelings? Exactly what
Because
Taylor
I
says.
wanna know if
Punch
you're in
yourself
your
in the dick
feelings.
and get over it. Literally.
But if you're feeling it, then it's alive.
and don't they bring it up next argument anyway? it flourishes. It flourishes eventually.
Oh,
If it's-
8 days ago.
Is it
Yeah.
flammable or combustible
Yes.
fuel?
Absolutely.
What's the
It's
difference?
both.
Absolutely.
Well,
It's like,
we learnt this
let
today.
me just put the gas, like, I don't know what you call it, in the drum. Fuel in the drum.
Add fuel to the fire.
And I'll just hold the drum and I'll wait till you talk to me and then I'll fucking
100%.
fling some at you. That's what it
100%.
is.
You've got to go
That's
into
what
every
it is.
situation with a
That's what
loaded
it-
gun.
No, whereas I'm like,
100%.
oh, look, I don't really like you today. I don't actually know why.
And I
But
told you that I
said
don't like
something
you.
That annoyed me. But I'll tell you first before you tell me.
No, I say sometimes to you as well that I think you're
Let's
shit.
cut
I
the
say-
bullshit.
Okay, to be fair,
Like,
I say to
I
Nick,
have to tell you I don't like you first for you to go.
No,
and I don't like you either.
the only time,
Absolutely.
the only time where I get the
No,
shits with you
that's
and I
on the
hold
daily.
it is when I'm cleaning and I do it by myself, and I literally do
Guys,
it all
I clean
by
by
my
myself
fucking
every day
self.
because we know no one
But
But
cleans
the
like I
second,
do.
and then she sits
one-
on her
no one
ass
cleans.
over there, fucking
Alright,
working, and then she'll get up.
Heaven forbid I'm
And
sitting
then
on
she
my
gets
ass working.
and then she gets up, and then all of a sudden gets the vacuum out. Are you gonna help me, motherfucker? Where were you yesterday when I was doing this shit? Oh, I'm gonna cook. What are you cooking? Fuck, I cooked yesterday, man. What are you gonna cook? I'm hungry.
Ash
Make
and
yourself
I-
something to
Ash
eat.
and I do this thing called the turn down service.
Oh,
We turn down before bed.
God.
Who do you think turns down before bed every fucking day?
congratulations.
I do. I shut the house. I make sure it's ready for us to go to bed. I do.
I do.
I do.
Who makes your coffee in the morning and your breakfast and your smoothie?
Called the turn up.
I do.
that's
Who does the turn up service?
The wake up service.
Who's the
That's why
alarm clock every
that's why
morning?
I hand it to you.
Ah, there you go.
Share. We've got to share.
There
We've
we
got to
go.
share it. We've got to
Who
share
feeds
it.
you?
Share the load.
Share the load.
I think we're good at sharing the load.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, I think.
Are you just saying that?
No, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna
Now
Are
is
you
the
gonna
time,
bank
Nick.
that one for
Now's the
tomorrow?
time. Don't bank
I got
it.
7 rounds in my gun, and we're not full yet.
I truly think we're quite good, and while I'm not probably a good communicator, I'm very good at saying when Nick's wrong or when he's not pulling his weight. But I'll also be like, oh, I feel very. What do I say? Oh, I feel a disconnect from you today. And Nick's like, oh, that's a bit sad. But
I feel a disconnect.
Yeah, I feel a
but do you
disconnect.
discuss a disconnect?
Usually I just like,
I'm like ignoring the vibe in the room. Yeah.
and I'm like, just like pick like. Yeah, like I
Pick it up.
I haven't
Get-
spoken. I know I haven't
jump back in the
spoken.
room.
That fucking pick it up, cunt.
Do you think it's just because your mind is preoccupied with other things?
Oblivious comes to mind. He's completely oblivious to it sometimes.
No.
So you got to.
That-
Oi, problem.
I
Yeah.
remember the last time I was shitty.
Okay. Oh, okay.
When was it?
So
Was it-
you
when
know.
was it?
So when you're a little bit pissed off, you know that the oblivious is going to be picked up. So that's your.
Oh, so it's on purpose.
That's a tone.
Well, that's fucking
That-
controlling,
that's your
and
fi-
I'm
no.
fucking done.
That's your fighting
that's
power.
gaslighting.
That's your fighting power. I do that all the time.
Nah, I just remove myself
Yes.
just to
100%.
reflect.
You just
Well,
shut
we
the
should
fuck up.
fucking leave the house.
Are you
'cause
okay?
oh, God.
It's like,
It's worse when they remove themselves and they're fucking still there. Like, leave.
At least get
or
the
when
fuck
they ask
out.
you, are you
me
okay?
alone.
I'm fine. What are you? Good.
That's,
Nah,
that's
it's
me.
nothing like that.
No,
That's
you
me.
just.
But I
Yeah.
think
100%. She's like, "What's wrong with you? I'm good."
Nothing.
What are you talking about?
That's me too.
It's like you're
If that's the way
crazy.
you feel, don't put it on me.
Gaslighting. Yeah, gaslighting. 100% gaslights me.
you did that to yourself. Like, why? Do you feel
Gaslight.
like-
100%. You feel that way because that's the way you
or,
feel.
Or do you ever get, guys, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but you're wrong.
100%.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
But that is your feeling.
No. Gaslighting.
But that's your feeling.
nothing I can
but
do.
Nothing I can do. I can't help you. You're cold. Put a jumper on.
Shit.
But I think with your point, like even just like cooking and doing all that kind of stuff, there's no communication. There's no need to. Like it's like a mutual awareness.
I'm joking.
Well, Taylor has
It's
a
like-
twitch in her eye
It's like
about it.
when I'm on the
Nick will
volleyball.
come home and be like, "What are we having for dinner?" And I'm like, "Well, what are you going to make me for dinner?" He's like, "That's what I said to you. What am I making for dinner?" I'm like,
Oh, no, you didn't.
didn't say
were
that.
testing the fucking boundaries.
"Did you say that?" And then I question my own sense of reality. You know, but
Gaslighting.
no, it's fine.
It is.
It is.
In probably a very minor form because
Yeah.
we have food in the fridge. Either of us could fucking cook it. It's our own
That's
fault,
me
but-
genuinely saying like, I don't care what we eat. Like I'll make
Yeah.
anything, but if this.
If you've got the idea, tell me the idea. tell me if you've already thought about it. Tell me. Give
I
it
know
to
what
me.
you mean.
Fuck, it's complicated, eh?
It is.
But it's because your significant other also knows how to push that fucking button. You know exactly what you're coming home to work with.
Yeah.
You absolutely know. You know what you're asking. You're asking, are you cooking or am I?
What are we
I'd
having for
prefer it
dinner?
if you did, but you know what? I'll do it anyway. Like, whatever.
What are you vibing?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we could tie a few questions into in there. You
Shall
asked
I-
yours off of mine.
Okay, so shall I
Ash,
go with
Alex?
Go on.
mine? Is there anything you regret doing with me?
Why are you looking at Nick for? Do I need to know something
I'm looking
here?
at
or-
everybody.
I'm fucking done.
Is there anything that you regret doing with me?
No.
I don't know the answer to this, so I'd love
Well,
for you.
clearly.
Clearly not.
No, like for myself, like I'm just trying to think, like
I don't think I regret doing anything with you. I definitely regret things that I haven't done with you.
Ooh,
but things
spicy.
that we've done, I think obviously, yeah, there's no regrets there. 100%. 100%
So
no
what are the
regrets there.
regrets?
Well,
Things you could have done better, maybe.
things
Or
I could have
things you
done better,
approached differently?
100%.
Okay.
Situations that could have been approached differently,
Yeah.
100%. I think attitude, 100% could have been done
don't
better.
Even understand the attitude this guy had when I first met him. Conversations weren't a thing.
Sorry, it's been years, babe.
Yeah, no,
Where are we at?
Yeah,
No,
conversation.
there was no conversation.
He doesn't talk.
Why
At
did
the
you stick it out?
At the start, he didn't talk. He just started, you know what? I'm lucky that my parents were wogs. They don't talk, they yell. So I'm lucky that I was like, what the hell? But for me, I was like, I never want to start yelling. That was my first thing. Let's just talk.
And that would trigger me.
Monotone.
She's like, what?
I'm a monotone talker.
It's like, don't talk to
And so
me like that.
he would start using his hands, and I feel this way, and I'm like, why are we yelling?
Shh.
Yeah, like, so I understood the yelling. Like, I understood where that came from because I was so used to it. Like, we would yell over, are you going to buy the bread or who's going to buy the bread? Like, you know, it was always like this. It was always this. Like, it was always this. So, like, I was, like, I understood it. But I just thought, let's kill the yelling because then there's levels to what comes after the yelling. So I knew that. I knew I wanted to bring that down because I was used to the yelling too. So that's why, like, at the start, Ash, you fucking, what socks are you wearing? What do you mean, like, what socks I'm wearing?
I'm not
like,
fucking wearing
everything-
shoes. Like, I'm barefoot,
like,
man. Leave me alone.
everything was a yell.
Like, fuck. But it was, like,
Yeah.
and for me as well, like, I was never an expressive person when I was younger. Like, I didn't cry in front of people. Like, what the fuck would you cry in front of someone for?
It's fucking embarrassing.
It is. Like, I was never...
It's not.
It's not. 100% it's not. Now I know it's not. Back then I thought it was embarrassing. Like, you don't cry in front of people. I've always been that person, never show someone your weakness. 100% no. And so I never expressed anything, and then this one loves to talk. I'm like, fuck, man.
Talk
I
about
kinda
a
wanna
feeling.
talk.
Yeah.
Talk about a
Like,
feeling.
come on, man. Like,
How was your day? And how did that
Good.
make you
yeah,
feel?
exactly. And that was all it was. Like,
nah.
good. So what happened? Like, fuck, man, I went to work.
Ugh.
Like, what else is going to happen in that day? Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, oh, I pulled up this wall and I
need to
tied on
know
this screw.
How
And,
your
like,
heart felt.
so, yeah, I think it was just that. Like, obviously not being expressive at the start. I think that obviously spiraled into a lot of other things.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't think, definitely don't regret anything. I think the one thing that I do love that we did do was actually obviously come to Perth.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best thing that we did together. But yeah, nah, definitely
best move we
no regrets. No regrets.
I think I as well. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely no regrets. Just I wish I would have done certain things differently.
When you know better, you do better.
100%.
Well said.
What about you, Nick?
Regrets? No.
What do you
No
regret
regret.
doing with Ale?
Lay it all out on the table.
Now
What do
tread
you
carefully,
regret,
all right?
Nick?
Because Luna's just there.
I've actually got nothing. Like
You got
nothing.
nothing.
Not yet, anyway. So
I think it's quite a fresh relationship. Let's be real.
I think
Taylor, anything you regret with Nick
Um.
that you could bring to the forefront?
Oh, probably where I could have. No, I don't look. I think I've been relatively level-headed to date.
Relatively, guys.
you had.
I know the relative
It
is funny.
it was like you had an answer
was like,
there,
"Ah."
and you were gonna
Nah, no. Then I thought, no, I don't fucking apologise for nothing.
Nothing that you
I
can
think
think
we've
of
been quite good. I do.
thus far.
Yeah. I think we've been maybe not lucky. I think we've both probably made a lot of compromises on when to lose your shit and when not to.
Is it worth it? I think you probably
Yeah,
learn.
I think
you learn,
keeping
like, is it
yourself at
worth it?
peace, it's
Yeah.
not worth it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think if you stress yourself out over something, you think about it for a week. Whereas
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
just don't and let it go that second, it's gone in an hour.
Yeah.
It
long as
might fuck
it's
you
not-
off for an hour, but what's an hour?
As long as it's not reoccurring, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because you can't just
When
keep
it's reoccurring,
turning
that's
a
when you
blind-
should probably bring it up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm.
regrets.
What about your
Yeah.
question, Ash? Let's bring up
Have
your
you got
question.
anything in the bank?
Because I've
Mine's pretty stupid, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
we
okay.
need that.
All right. So
Lighthearted.
let's do it.
Bring the kids out.
So obviously, no, it's not that stupid. So Nick, obviously, not that it's a guy or girl thing. When At what stage of your relationship with Taylor did you feel comfortable to fart and burp in front of her?
The first night.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I'll answer that.
Really?
No,
Nah.
go on.
I think like maybe, well, you can't really put a time frame like 6 months, but maybe like when you guys are, or when we were actively like consecutively is probably a better word, sleeping in the same room,
Yeah.
seeing each other, 2 or 3 times a week.
Or it's got to be done.
Yeah, I think, and that's normally, in the 3 to 6 month period in there.
So, guys, would you say 3 to 6 months is the average period where you start burping and farting in front of your significant
Absolutely
other?
not.
Well-
I'm coming in here.
Okay.
I'm just not a farter in front of people.
I've
Not
got
even
a-
just my partner.
I've got a story.
anyone.
In front
This
of
is gonna be a
people.
funny story.
And, like, maybe in my sleep. Probably, I know in my sleep.
Burping, no. Like I'm not.
Burping first night. Like,
Yeah.
no problem.
But I'm not a big at all burper.
I think I burp quite a lot. I think I burped into this microphone more than
A few
100 times.
But the farting thing, like this is quite a funny scenario because I had a period when I was dating Taylor early on where like I would fart
All the time.
20, 30 times. It was a problem.
You got gut problems though.
Well,
Like,
at the
Sorry.
time it was undiagnosed,
Yeah.
and I was trying to think at that time what I was. Oh, I thought we thought it was like fatty liver, and then we
Yeah.
thought it was.
gluten. There were so
Gluten.
many things that we thought
Yeah.
it was.
And I was just losing my mind, like.
Yeah.
The doctor was putting him through like a series of trials saying, try this, try
Try
that.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
Still not, like-
no. This is before I even met her. She was the specialized nutritionist.
Yeah.
Anyway, she pretty much found that there was this certain sugar, fructan, which is found in like
Do you know the FODMAP?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've been through this.
Yeah.
I've had
which
this
is
problem.
found in like all my favorites: onion,
Yeah.
garlic.
Yep. All of the things.
Broccolini.
Yep.
And have a listen to this. Like we'd go to brekkie, and I'm like, well, I'll eat healthy. Have avocado, mushrooms,
Yeah.
asparagus, all found in those 3.
Yeah.
I said,
You're
well,
better
hang
off
on.
with the bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
She goes, hang on, like you're saying like it's really bad on a Sunday after brekkie. Yeah, it is because
You've had all the
and
things.
she's like, oh, hang on, let's go back. What are you having? I'm like, oh, eggs Benedict. She goes, no, they're all good. Hollandaise sauce, good. Eggs. She goes, you must be having a side. I said, oh, sorry, yeah, of course. I have mushrooms and avocado. She goes, there you go.
You're done.
So I guess early on, like that was an issue because here I am trying to.
I think it's
Trying to be
improved.
healthy.
I wouldn't say it's
Like,
fixed.
Well, personally, it's gone. Like sleeping.
compared to what it was. Well, your
compared- I think
uncomfortability
it's
of
considered
it.
in the realms of normal now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say I'm
Maybe.
shitting good now.
Yeah.
I've just never
Look,
met someone
I'm
that
more-
can just sit on the toilet for 20 minutes. Like, sorry? Okay.
I've
you say
normally
you
got
do?
a few authorizations to make.
Taylor,
I'm like
I
3
don't-
minutes, 2
no,
minutes in and out. No problem.
I don't.
Straight in, straight out.
Until Ash and I started working together, I don't know how he ever kept a job beforehand.
This is why Nick works for himself.
The amount
Because he would
of
get fired.
shits he takes a day, and he's in there for 10 to 15 to 20.
I
No,
can't
I'm being
understand
generous. 10, 15 minutes.
No,
No,
10 minutes
I'm being
average.
generous. 20 to 30 to an hour.
That's
nah.
Nick.
That's not.
I
That's
swear
100. That
he
is
could read-
bullshit.
he could-
Nah,
He
not
could
half
read
an
the
hour to an
Bible in a
hour.
week.
Nah,
I'm telling you.
Not half an hour to an hour.
that sounds
Half hour
familiar.
max.
I'm a dump and dash.
I have
Like,
never
yeah, but
cracked.
your shits are the size of fucking rabbit
If
pellets.
you need to go, you need to go, and you're done.
But like, if
what
you need
else
to go later, go again. I just don't. I've never cracked double digits on the toilet.
Never,
I don't
either,
think ever.
either.
15 minutes median.
Yeah.
What do you do for 15
10
minutes?
10
Fucking
minutes
seri-
average.
You could paint the bathroom. Seriously. Fucking
No, but like you gotta-
retoilet.
But you've
Like-
literally, I'm the one that like
I'm
it just has to
serious.
come out naturally. Like you don't push it.
Yeah, but
you
if,
just
but if
I
you're
don't
sitting
let
push
it
it
there,
go.
either.
but if
Oh,
you're
whatever.
sitting there and it's not coming out,
Get up.
Nah, nah. You
Go
let
for
it.
a
You
walk.
wait for it, and you let it come out because then you'll
No.
get up, you go sit down, and then you look like a dickhead when you turn around after you've sat back down
Yeah.
to go back in the
I'd
toilet.
go back. I'd sit
Look
down.
like a
Nah.
dickhead. You're
That's
working from home.
That's it. That's just being non-productive, eh?
This one. Again. But nah, definitely.
So I guess in reference to Nick's, but I think like we've never not like Ash and I have stomach problems. Like we've been as far as I've had things up there where you watch the
colonoscopy.
Yeah, where
she's had colonoscopies in.
No,
the enema.
The enemas where you watch the poop come out to see what kind of stuff is in the poop, like.
And the guy sits there and
watches it. And,
you got a bit of gas coming. How can you tell? There's bubbles.
And Ash watches it with him. Like so
I want to do that.
So it's so good. It
Where
feels
was it?
so good. Near Armadale, near the hills, Perth Hills.
Armadale.
Yeah, near Armadale,
Great.
Perth Hills.
I'll take a day. I'll take a pack lunch.
Yeah. And the guy's got a massage chair as
Yeah,
well.
and
so
he
you can
reads
sit down on
he
it.
reads
That's
like
what I
the
was doing.
stress in your eyes, like he reads all kinds of things.
Oh, and she's pissed herself.
She has.
I control my piss. But yeah, like I think for us it was from my end, I would say it was pretty immediate because like I was going through all my stomach problems.
You had no choice.
I had no choice.
Yeah,
I was
no
like,
choice
it was deal with it
whatsoever.
or leave me.
yeah, it was like we're either gonna go through this or we're not because like I couldn't. IBS was my problem. Is my problem. So
Wow.
I used to wait and hold my farts and wait when we were smoking and go out to the balcony, have a
Ash and
cigarette
I,
and then
we used to
fart.
smoke cigarettes.
Oh, I definitely don't leave myself in pain over it.
We'd be watching a movie and I'm like, fuck, it's too early to have a cigarette yet. All right, we'll just wait. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the toilet. So I would just go to the toilet, pretend to wee, grab some water, pour it down so it sounds like I'm weeing and fart.
Wow.
That's how it used to happen for me.
Oh,
But
I
now
definitely
it's,
used to go to the toilet at the start and like do all the things and spray things and fucking make a ruckus in the toilet, clap my hands, fucking.
Everyone's been on a date where you're just sitting there and it's like,
I'm gonna have a shower. I
Never.
just need to have a quick shower and turn the shower on, fight your life away. Like, absolutely.
Wow.
But I've never heard you fart.
I feel like the only time I fart is when I go to the toilet.
And when I'm
Wow, you're very
gigging
lucky.
at the Empire on Friday night and you got the bed to yourself.
Honestly, even then, like I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but it's not a regular thing. Like I can't even.
Oh wow, you're very lucky. Taylor's
Maybe
blessed.
Maybe my
with her gas.
crook guts isn't that bad. I always say to Nick, "Oh, I've got a crook guts." He's like, "You don't."
It's like you're good.
You're good. Far out. Can we have a toilet drink break?
All right, we're having a break, guys.
All right, we got 2 new followers since my post, guys.
Woo! Since alive. Yeah, it is on board.
And the girl who has OnlyFans that I said that I needed to follow.
Oh wow.
Surely not.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's so funny.
the gods
How
are
the-
alive.
how the-
Manifest.
The gods.
Yep.
She
She felt it. She had
the-
ESPN.
The ears went
You
hot. The ears went hot. All right, guys.
All right,
so
we're back.
back after the pee
Oh,
break.
I feel a little.
Have a bit of a stretch.
All right. So I think we'll just dive straight into our next
Do
question.
we need the aircon on? Is everyone feeling fine? Fine.
There, Connie's on.
Shout out to Love and Hip Hop.
There's no light on it. I don't
Mama
know.
Joyce.
Unless it's reached
Fine.
down. I
The
don't know.
tree's on. The tree's on. It's definitely the aircon isn't on.
There, Connie's on.
No, it's not.
100%.
I usually feel cold.
Oh, it's moving. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to our next question by Taylor.
Again,
Let's do
I
it.
think I'm pretty above board.
All right,
Bit of a
let's do it.
thinker.
Let's do it.
So I ask Nick first.
Yeah,
Or?
yeah, go for it. Or just ask it.
All right. Whoever wants to kick off
Chime
this
in.
one. What was the biggest lesson you learnt from your worst breakup?
Oh, God.
what was?
The biggest lesson you learnt from your worst breakup.
I'm gonna ask for your phone because there's something else about me. I'm very bad at what's
Listening?
the word?
Yeah, I know.
No.
Your visual.
Yeah, I'm visual
Okay.
and like, what's when you swallow food? Come on, help me out. Digest. It's hard to digest through my ears.
No, he's,
Oh,
not,
God.
he's not a good listener.
He's not a good
And I
listener.
know that.
Coming from
He'll read it 6 times. And
I'm
he'll
a
go,
the musician in the crew.
I know, right?
that's all he hears, his notes.
but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not by ear.
Oh, you see music.
So if you play me a song,
Do you Do you see it?
I have to read it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll sit there and write it out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, even if you played me a song, I'm like, oh, what do you want me to do?
You're like, it's a 1 out.
Wow.
Darren looks at me and is like, play that. I'm like,
Let me say it.
give me a pen.
Let me write
How
it
does your
first.
no? What was the biggest lesson from your worst breakup?
That's a very straightforward.
Oh,
question.
simple.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Go.
He's arrived,
Go.
everyone.
Nicholas.
Don't be a dick and don't cheat.
Are you a cheater?
I'm not a cheater.
Did you cheat?
No, the partner did.
No, well, that's very self-deflecting. I mean,
We're talking about what you learned.
Well,
he's
I learned-
perfect, everyone. Don't worry about it. Next.
What did you learn about yourself that you should take into your next relationship?
Yeah, I think we'll just on the last one, just stay true to yourself and don't change. Don't change who you are to. This is, I've got to word this really carefully. Don't choose. So, like for example, I used to do indoor soccer. Used to go to the gym. I just got rid of all that just to kind of
Compensate.
Make the relationship work. What you thought would make it work.
yeah, but it doesn't because then you're not happy with what you're doing and it turns to shit.
And if you're not happy moving forward, then
Don't change who you are.
Be you,
I will
babe.
not change who I
Be-
am.
But
I
think
will
you,
not.
You can't say that because like the point before, like you got to
Evolve.
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 So I think like you still got to have those aspects of who you are.
Compromise.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Compromise. Yeah, I think compromise is the C word, not C-U-N-T.
The C word.
Compromise.
The big C.
The big C.
Yeah.
What about you, Tay? What's the biggest thing you think you learned
Oh.
from your ex-partners?
Probably that no matter how much you do or try to fix or put into something, if someone doesn't love you, they don't love you. Like you need to let it go. Like if you're flogging a dead horse, as they say,
That's a bit harsh.
it's that simple. Nothing you do. If someone wants to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you.
And-
Whether you let them go to the party or not, they're going to.
You know what? And on this, I also feel really strongly about other women. When we have conversations with other women and we say, they say, oh, my partner did this and it's something really fucking stupid that they done. Like it's so outlandish where you're like, don't turn around to your girlfriend and go, maybe he was having a really bad day.
No.
No,
Leave him.
he's a fuckwit. Be straight up about. No, as women, we always like to go, it's okay. Maybe he was just thinking, like we always look for the excuse when the reality is right there in front of us.
Agreed. And I think
We do this so much.
Worst breakup is the question. I look at my worst breakup and I think of how many years I just tried and put in everything I had and got fucking nothing, but still thought, no, he's going to love me. Like he fucking doesn't.
He's
Like
gonna turn around.
Why
Be real. Be
why
real.
didn't I just think, oh, fuck, this cunt hates my guts?
Be realistic
What? Yeah,
with yourself.
I know it's hard. It's very hard.
With
but
yourself. Punch
and
yourself
I
in the
think
dick, guys.
now I'm very good at reading signs and like if they're not into you, he's just not that into you. Have you seen that?
Yes.
That is everyone
Yes.
needs to watch that
Yes.
and base their dating life
And
off that
ladies,
movie.
stop
I
fucking
definitely
telling
have
your
not watched that.
BFF like,
It
maybe he
changed-
just had a bad day. I'm fucking done with those conversations.
Okay, maybe he lost his phone. Maybe no,
Oh,
mate, he's
no.
just not that into you.
He just accidentally texted that
No.
girl. No.
Oh, she persuaded him.
Oh,
No,
she messaged him.
yeah.
Yeah. He had no choice. He was just being nice, replying. No.
That's mine.
It's
Which
fucking
is
triggering.
a sly question, which I sly
Yeah,
question that I
no.
read online is how far is it before it becomes flirting? So like you just said that he was messaging another girl.
Flirting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between flirting and messaging another girl.
The intent. What did you say in the text?
Mm.
Yeah, it's all about
Yeah,
context.
context. Absolutely.
Context, the tone.
Context
Well,
and content.
I think you get to a certain age as well where, like, I think, like, fucking everyone correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like you get to a certain age where, like, you know you're going to be with someone for the long run. Like, you get to that stage where but, like, having a little flirt is just a bit of fun.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I
Or
feel
we not?
No,
I definitely.
I
Face was like, I don't know about
definitely.
you, bitch, but Taylor better not
fucking
be
cheater. Oh my god.
Like, having a bit of a flirt is like, bitch, I still got it.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
100%. I don't think
Nick is
there's.
the only one
I
I'm
don't think
saying
there's anything wrong with a little bit of friendly flirting.
But
Yeah.
I
think
don't
the
think
severity-
that involves
Absolutely.
texting someone back and
But
forth.
are
I
we
don't think-
saying in person or texting?
No, I think
Oh,
in person.
no.
In person.
In person,
I think in
yes.
person.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Oh,
texting,
you
then
look
that's
good.
sly.
You look
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, texting is sly. Texting is
Yeah.
that's intent. That's
Yeah,
secret.
Yeah.
Agreed.
100%.
Unless it's not secret, though.
Oh,
Unless
then
you're
it's
like,
not flirting.
check it out. Like, it depends on the level of your relationship, really.
If I was on the market tomorrow,
It depends
Yeah.
if you're like, here you go.
I've got something lined up. Like, no,
Yeah.
there's a difference between in person and texting.
yeah, for sure.
I think if someone's got your number and is messaging you, there's intent.
100%.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Key word, 6-letter word, intent.
If you run into
Intent,
someone
yeah.
at the bar who pays you a compliment, it's very different than
Very
someone
good with
who's
numbers,
messaging you.
not-
It's like
good with
if
words.
you're getting a drink at the bar
Yeah.
and he's
Oh,
like, or she's like, hey, like, what's your name?
Well, you
What
smell
do
nice.
You guys, you
you
smell.
smell so
Oh, you.
good.
Oh
I
my
love
God,
your
what are you wearing?
outfit.
What's that fragrance?
I love guys that smell good.
Yeah, what's that perfume? You remind me of my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic. Absolutely.
That's the one.
That's the first flirting one for me.
I've never heard that
You
one.
remind me of my ex-boyfriend. You smell just like him. Hi, what's your name?
Oh, I'm trying to think
Absolutely.
of the cologne.
That comes up. And it's always...
I think
like-
Johnny Depp. What was Johnny Depp's face on the fragrance? That's the fragrance I'm thinking.
Ash
Johnny-
always gets it with his Versace.
Oh, the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what Nick wears.
At Empire Bar, there were literally
I
two
feel
women.
like-
They were probably
chased
like,
me.
you smell like
They
the
literally-
keyboard player.
Oh my God, are you Nick's brother?
That one's a winner, eh?
100%.
The Versace.
That's the
Always.
best.
No,
Oh, here
and
it is. It's Sauvage.
We get it at clients.
Sauvage.
Sauvage is a big one.
Savage.
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 Christian
So
Dior.
what was the question again?
Can't remember. Who's
What was the
asked
question?
it? Me?
Yeah, you asked it.
Oh.
About the flirting.
Oh no, what did
That
you
was-
learn out of your
Oh,
worst
what did
breakup?
you
What did you
learn?
learn from your worst breakup?
What did you learn?
I don't know. I don't think I've had a bad breakup.
Right,
Like I
next.
think
Next.
our argument or our situation.
I think we had a we
Our
had some
situation.
great moments.
Your temporary
breakup.
parting.
Yeah, our temporary one definitely, I guess, goes back to one of the first questions was just to just to talk more, like things I would change within our relationship. That's about it. But like from people that I'm no longer with, like I didn't learn shit from them. Like I didn't learn anything from those breakups because they weren't anything.
I learned nothing relationship wise. I learned things self respect wise, and that's
Yeah.
that's huge.
Well, I think for me as well, back then, like it was never a serious thing. Like I was young. Like I never had this expectation, I guess, again, going back to the start, like I never had an expectation that the girl that I was seeing at 16, I'm going to be with when I'm 85.
Yeah.
It was never going to happen. So for me, it was like, this is just fun. Like this
See,
is
I'm not
just me
talking
being
25.
young.
I'm not talking
Yeah.
16. I'm talking 25.
For me, it was
nothing.
compromise. Like absolutely, you got to like I learned from my and one of my biggest things that I did learn, and I will never let this go, is spy, bitch, spy. Always fucking spy. Look between.
What the fucking? Okay, we're calling it there, guys. Good night. Thank you.
Spy?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What?
What does that mean?
No, look.
Let's
I
dig
get
deeper.
it. No,
Let's dig
I get
deeper.
it. Have
I
all
know.
the trust, do all the things, but maybe once every 6 months, check the emails.
But do you need to?
Maybe once every 6 months, check the messenger. No, I don't care. I don't. No. I'm serious. I think there is a point where, like, check the shit out.
Alex, could
Check
you
the
think of
shit out.
anything in this world you want to do less than go through fucking Nick's phone? Because you couldn't pay me to go through Nick's phone.
I just like
Why?
you just browse.
Boring.
Just to browse.
No,
No, like I'm not going like I'm going through every text message.
You
I'm just
probably
gonna
are.
go. No, I can't.
You probably are.
Just go.
No, but it's,
My thing is always don't be too naive and never feel too settled.
actually, you know, when you do this brings me back, an ex-partner of mine who I caught messaging someone. We were getting ready.
Did you browse?
They're probably listening. Shout out to you.
Fucking dude.
We were getting ready to go out on. I look. It may have been one of our birthdays. I'm not sure. It was a big dinner.
Like
Big
our
timing.
birthdays.
No, like me or him.
yeah, okay.
Him or I.
Okay.
And he was sitting behind me on the couch texting someone. And I remember leaning back, and it was like, normally wouldn't think of anything of it. Never been through their phone. And I was like, who are you messaging? And he's like, oh, it's just someone. They've just messaged me randomly. I'm just replying to it. And I was like, oh, sorry, I got the vibe. You know, you get the vibe.
exactly.
Long story short, I broke their nose that night. So
Hang on.
oh,
We don't
wow.
condone violence like that.
No, we fucking do. It was necessary.
That's my girl.
You get him.
There was more done.
No,
but,
I don't
Anyway,
think-
anyway, I remember him saying, no, she's just messaged me. I'm just diffusing it. And he was holding the phone and it was unlocked. And I went, and it must have scrolled for 200 text messages in my one, like it
Oh.
felt like it just kept going.
I'd love to be a
And I was
fly on the
sitting there
wall
like,
there, eh?
and I was sitting there like,
Don't get too comfortable. That's
Happy
what
birthday,
I think.
motherfucker.
Bang.
I just think never get too fucking comfortable.
oh, I've
Because-
never gone through a phone.
Your partner is your partner, and I know they will have your back and all of that.
But they
I
don't
do
always.
get that. But sometimes they might get a bit of a feeling. Someone might flirt too much, and they go, "Do I still have that? What's happening?"
Is that because of a previous relationship, or is that something like where's that?
Definitely
Look,
from a previous
no,
relationship.
And if
hasn't
I'm
been
being
in this relationship.
and if I'm being honest, I done it myself. And if I was happy, like, well,
Sorry, you overthought it yourself and
No.
then it became a problem in yourself, or it was a problem and you found out?
No,
No.
she was probably messaging
I
someone
was the
else.
one messaging someone else.
Oh, right. Yep.
Like,
yeah.
so I think to myself, if I was having
If
those
you can do
thoughts-
it, anyone can do it. Yeah.
And I think like I'm a pretty like straightforward person. Like if I don't want to be with
Yeah.
someone, it's pretty obvious, and you know. So I think to myself, like if I'm pretty straightforward and
It-
blah blah.
It worries me because like with previous relationships, like when I've been, well, one of them I was cheated on, you just end up, it just becomes like a. I don't
And
know,
you don't sometimes really want to hurt someone. Like you just
you question everything.
Yeah.
I'm just going down
Yeah.
the deli.
Okay,
Took 20 minutes. So would you know, like
Yeah.
it becomes really unhealthy.
But I think once in a while, get a grip.
It's just like doing a firmware update on your
Yeah.
computer.
Actually,
Just checking for
I think
updates.
it's like that. Just like
Did you get that email?
I really do.
I can't find it on my one. I think I deleted it.
I
Maybe it's still on yours.
think never be too naive.
I find no.
And never think
comfort
it
in
won't
that.
happen to you. Never think it won't happen to you.
Agreed.
There's so many situations. Don't think you're the exemption of the fucking love bubble that there is. You're not. You're not it.
I live by a slogan. I've lived by it for many years now, and it's always been right. And that's, if there is doubt, there is no doubt.
Mm.
If there is one reason for you to suspect something in your relationship, you're probably fucking right. And right now, I can truly say, fuck, if I'm wrong, I'm going to look like the biggest dickhead.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that there is no issue, you know?
Yeah.
And I think if you have one little inkling, it's for a reason.
Oh,
And
I think that if you don't have an inkling, there's an issue.
Nah.
That's what I do.
You're a pessimist.
Yeah, I think like always
You're
like
100%
always.
pessimist.
Maybe I'm a bit of a fighter. Like
But
always have your wits about you. Don't ever let your guard down
It's
110%.
like, what happened to you when you were
But
younger?
some people think like, oh God, I think it, but I have no proof. No, I'm an idiot. No, you're not an idiot. There's a reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a reason you think
always
that.
follow your gut. Yes, but I think like
If there's doubt, there's no doubt.
sometimes have a scroll.
in the early
That's
days
it.
with Tay, like like you're fresh single, so there's obviously, you know, there was other people that perhaps were interested, but also not so much that being in a band. And I had a big issue with, because experiencing being cheated on, like every time someone else got a message, you're like, oh, fuck, who's that? You just like questioning.
Yeah,
So with
yeah.
Tails, it's like straight up, like this will like people just message you, oh, I saw it tonight, but just be open. And then I think what we call them punishers at the gigs. I was just doing inductions like every fortnight, like these two people, like that's her, like they clear of that. Just.
But also, I've never been a wild jealous type unless I have, and even then, I'm probably not jealous. I'm just gonna fucking knock you out. You know, violence is key. And not the other female. I mean the male.
I know you can shoot a gun.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a wildly jealous type since recovering from what I would call my worst breakup. It's like, okay, if I'm not enough, leave me alone. Like, I would rather you just leave me alone than me try and prove, oh, no, I'm better than her, or I have more to offer.
Yeah.
No, I probably
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
The damage is done.
That's what you
It's
want to
done.
do.
It's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Go for it.
No word or sentence or phrase or poem is gonna.
No.
It's done.
Look, like I can't say that in our relationship I've had a scroll or look, but I always go, don't
Should
be
Why aren't you doing your
Should
update?
I?
don't be too dumb. Don't be too dumb.
You definitely have.
Well, I do like
Let's be
sorry,
clear. You
this
definitely
topic-
have,
oh,
because even every time I get a message, who messaged you?
just so you know you're talking.
Yeah, but
I'm
she's
not.
And it's
doing it
literally, it's
behind
like,
her back.
I'm not actually scrolling.
it's my blood donation
I'm
next
not
week.
scrolling.
Like literally,
I'm
and
not
it is.
actually
It's like,
scrolling.
yeah.
I'm not
Who
actually
are you talking
scrolling.
to? Why did
I've
the
never
walk take
gone-
25 minutes?
I've never gone
Your next
myself.
question, hand in hand.
I've never
Oh, yeah,
done
yeah,
it
yeah.
myself. Ever.
Our topic we're on goes hand in hand with a question that Nick wanted to bring up, and it's gonna.
So, ladies,
Number
keep.
10.
I think, anyways, keep your wits about yourself.
No.
You can never be
Oh,
too
no.
sure
Did you already say that?
about
No.
what's going on.
I
You
wrote
can
mine.
never be too sure, guys.
can't,
In my
but
eyes,
I
you can
think-
never be too sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But I'm not saying you can be in a relationship and if you get no inkling there's nothing going on. No, I'm saying if you're in a relationship where you have no proof but you think there fucking is. There's an issue. And you need to look into it. People are in relationships, let's say they think it's great. It may be great and they don't know that there's an issue. That's a
but I
possibility.
always think there's an issue. Like, I always think,
But
like,
why?
never get too.
What happened to you? Like,
Oh,
what
like
did you-
my parents. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's what happened.
Well, I think I'm very
so
different then.
I always think, like, never get too comfortable.
Yeah.
I always think never get
I've
too
had a conversation
comfortable.
with a dear friend of mine in
Yeah.
the music industry, and her parents were kind of on the same wavelength, that open relationship, right? So she
Yeah.
was brought up where dad was bringing home someone
Yeah.
different every night, and mum was just at home putting up with it, like shutting
Yeah.
a blind eye. So when we have these discussions at a gig, it was like, I was just like,
Where's that coming from? It's so left.
Like, what?
But it's so often too. Like,
and then not hearing it from her, I was like, that's not normal,
yeah.
you know? But I can understand how it's the only way she knows, because that's how she was brought up.
I just
Yeah.
think like if I ever heard that a friend of a friend said something about a friend or someone cheating or anything like that, I'm the type of person who will always, even if it's so far fucking fetched, I would tell that friend, because I never want, like, for example, if someone, Nick's band's fucking mate, best friend's girlfriend said Nick did something, I would tell you, even it's so far fetched, it's so ridiculous.
and that's good.
But I would tell you because, but not because I want you to go approach Nick to it, but because if it ever comes to you, I never want you to sit there and go, never
Never
look.
seen it coming.
No, I never want you to have that look in your eye of going,
I'm gonna break
I
it.
was blindsided.
I'm gonna break your nose.
I
cunt.
want you to
Our-
say, I knew all along. Fuck you, motherfucker.
As a
Like,
scenario
protection. It's a
aside,
protection.
you would go to the person that's involved.
Would you also go to Nick, aside from me knowing?
No,
I
I'll
would.
go straight to you.
No,
I'll
but
get it.
like, okay, you tell me. Yep, done.
No,
Would
I'll
you
go
next
straight to
week
you.
But it could
say to
also
him-
backfire, because if, and I'm just devil's advocate
No,
here.
I would just go straight to Taylor.
Okay, but what about if it was untrue?
I would still go straight to Taylor. This is what's
I
happening.
would
This is what's been said.
uncover it.
But
This-
then,
yeah,
but
'cause it's
then-
up to her
But,
what
then the other,
Because it's up to her what she wants to do with it. Because she's in the relationship with you. I'm not.
But she's
And
not
other
spinning the shit.
I'm not.
Someone else has.
I've heard it.
Yeah, but then it's your
I'm not
decision
spinning
to
this.
pass it on.
Yeah, but
She's my friend.
Yeah, I'm her close friend. So like, I'm not going to tell Tom, Dick, and Harry. I feel bad for
I'm a
saying
source
it.
type of guy.
I feel bad for saying it, but I'm not going to go to the friend of the friend of the fucking friend. Like, Nick, I love you, but you're replaceable. Do you know what I mean? No, that's true. I'm not being. Do you know what I mean? No.
Replaceable. Tell Darren Reed I'm replaceable. Motherfucker still got me on 22 gigs a week.
Do you know what I mean? Like boys can come and go. Do you know what I mean? Like boys can come and go.
Saturday through Sunday, Monday.
I'm not gonna go to your whoever you think is.
Okay, but hear this out. Okay,
this is what being said. So just in case it comes to you,
and then she's going to approach me. That could cause more damage than going to the source and going.
No, I'm not going to investigate it.
I think it would cause more damage if Alex pulled it out her ass and thought, I'm going to start a rumor.
It's up to her to investigate
But if it came from a legitimate
It's up to her
source,
to do
then
what
I
she
don't
wants
think
to do with it.
Yeah.
It's her relationship. Because for all I know, you guys have an arrangement.
Well, you do that.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. For all I know, like, you guys have your thing. So I don't know that. And that's none of my business. So go to Taylor. She does what she wants with it.
I would approach both.
The rest is none of my business. I'm not going to go to Tom, Dick, and Harry and go, what's happening? That's gossiping. Trying to go
but would you?
the
But what Nick is
missus, the
asking,
mistress, the this, the that. Nah.
would you approach Nick as well?
It's my job to approach.
Yeah, it's her job to
If
do
I
what
want
she
to.
wants to do with it.
Fair enough.
It's her job to ignore it. It's her job to look after it. It's her job to do whatever she wants.
And I've
If she
had
goes-
friends that would ignore it.
Yeah, if she goes, you know what? I know, but let's just shut up. All right. Shut up.
She knows. That's enough.
I'm not talking to anyone about
What
it.
about if it's your friend
Because what if-
that's doing it?
Ooh.
I'll protect her till she dies.
Yes.
No, it's interesting you say that.
And then I said to her, do you want to tell her? Are you going to tell him?
Yeah, what
no.
do you wanna do?
I've got a friend that
Are we
is-
not going to tell him? We're not going to tell him.
He's a
then.
notorious motherfucker. Let's just say that at cheating.
Actually,
And I've
yeah.
got to see his wife at events and stuff, and it's the most awkwardest thing.
But their marriage is none of your business, really, because
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
true.
know what arrangement they have.
Oh, for sure. That's why.
Yeah, that's why you can't
That's
say
what I'm
nothing.
saying. I back you
It's where does
Yeah.
your loyalty lie with him?
with him.
Yeah, correct.
and you don't know what. Like, if you went up to her, she goes, "They're cheating." You'd be like, "Shut the fuck up! Now I have to make it known. Now I have to talk about it.
And then
now
I'd-
because we know."
and
that
I'd
you
be like,
know,
"Yo, Nick."
like."
Just so you know, sort your shit out because Alice told Taylor about Amber from Northbridge. And fucking Taylor's got a gun and she's ready to fucking shit the both of you.
She's a
Yeah.
good shooter. We went to the Raw show, and you know those little pegs. There's like 4, then 3, then 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there first, and then I was like, "Oh, she's gone off to play that game," and I was just standing from a distance, going, "All right, yeah, all right."
Better delete her number. Not Taylor's.
Yeah, I just think you never know what arrangement people have. So
Very true.
let them deal with it. I would go to whoever I'm closest to let them deal with it the way they need
I'm
to
gonna
deal
I'm
with
gonna
it.
change my
Yeah.
what's the word? Opinion or opinion on that? Yeah, I think that
Viewpoint.
viewpoint.
Yeah. Because you don't know these days. That's the one thing I've learned. Like, you just actually don't know.
But I've been at a club before with my friends, and I've seen people there that I know, and I've said, "Oh, hi, how you going?" And they've looked at me in the club and said, "Don't you have a partner?" And I'm like, "Sorry, am I fucking hooking up with anyone?"
It's
sorry,
just
I'm
that
out
you're
of the
out.
house alone.
See, some people,
Yeah, you're just
you're
out.
just out.
Wait, sorry,
without
what?
Doesn't
What am I
if
doing?
you're out, you're considered.
You're
ready,
single.
You're
For
ready,
some
you're ready to
people.
go.
For some
Yeah,
people.
like-
For some people.
And that is wild to
people,
me.
yeah.
That is so fucked up.
And are these guys that are saying that to you? And where's their
and
partner?
girls. No, but and girls.
Oh.
Like mainly guys, I would say, but I have had girls say it who who are probably single,
Yeah, right.
and guys who are single usually, or they're with their partner, and they're like,
And
"Don't you
they're
have a
usually
partner?"
trying to-
And then they always go, "Oh, is he here?" And then if you say, "Oh no, he's doing this," they're like, "Okay,
That's weird.
no, it's actually not. It's actually.
No, I'm not
healthy.
saying it is. I'm not saying
no,
it is.
I know,
weird.
No,
Yeah.
but that's what they say.
But it's
It's
actually healthy.
independence.
It's
Yeah.
probably
It's good.
having a little bit of a 1 degree
Yeah.
of separation in life.
And I think with us, that was the hardest thing at the start. Is like I always felt guilty if I would go out with the boys, even if it's fucking going to my mate's house and playing FIFA. Like I thought
and I was
legit,
never against her.
and
Wait,
she was
this-
never against it, but it was always like, ooh, like. And then she sends
What's she
it,
gonna
and then
think?
yeah,
What's
what's
she
she gonna
gonna
think?
think?
And then she'd send me a text message, and I'm like, fuck, halfway through a game, I can't pause this to reply back. So I'm
Were they
sorry, like,
45
literally,
minute halves or?
It's
fucking
like-
60
it's like-
minute.
oh,
It's a full
God.
game, mate.
Taylor
45
said
and a half.
on Wednesday, she goes, we're going over to
I
Alex
would
and
love
Ash's. And
him
I was
playing.
like, FIFA.
Yeah, I would love him like doing that. Like he
What Nick
does
says
that now.
He's like, oh, what about Friday? I'm not gigging it. I'm like, I think we'll go and do the podcast. He's like, oh yeah, I just want to go and play FIFA with Ash. I'm like, it's not about FIFA. We have a podcast.
We
We're
would
doing
lose
a
them.
podcast.
We
He's like,
would lose him because now don't you have Formula One or some shit?
can't
Yeah,
you
I
just
do.
fucking do that
Formula
tomorrow
21.
or something like?
Great game.
Oh,
We spoke about it about a week about buying this game. Eddie wasn't
so
special.
many nights for FIFA.
Anyway,
Any night
shall
you
we
want.
move into the next question? Is it my turn?
Well, didn't Nick?
I think
Nick?
this one ties in.
Oh, Nick,
This
Nick,
is a
Nick,
quick
Nick,
one 'cause
Nick.
it
Okay,
ties in.
go for it.
Should you and your partner share the passwords to each other's phone and social media accounts? And I'm going to add to that and just say bank accounts, emails. Like,
The lot.
it's a lot.
100%.
Yeah,
Ever since we're together, we've had a joint bank account.
we've had it
Literally.
all together.
I think like if you had the password to my phone, which Nick does, you can get into anything of mine because the password's the fucking same as the
Yeah.
PIN
I
code.
only
You know?
found that out tonight.
And
Oh, right.
but
I knew the password.
But
but I didn't.
It's been 6 years, you know, finally.
But everything's a pin. Like you probably go, oh, give it a crack,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing. And I think Facebook email address and password is a bit much to log into their own computer and do their own thing. That's very different.
And you get a
than saying,
notification
"Here's my phone."
anyways.
Yeah, then saying, here's my phone, look at what you want. No, I don't want you looking at my 2014 chats. You know, like that's
all
a
the
bit
dumb
different.
fuck chats I have with my
Yeah, like
girlfriends.
how fucking
like,
embarrassing
do you want me
is
to
that?
tell her, oh, what tampon did you wear? Like, are you
Did you
feeling
wear
okay?
two if you had a
How's your
heavy flow?
period?
Remember?
No, we're saying
no,
this
that was
because
fucking hilarious.
we heard
because
some girls in the pool saying, oh, I had to wear a tampon and a pad because my flow was so heavy. And Ash is like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Because like you could hear everything. You could hear
What the fuck
everything.
am I
It's like,
listening
ooh.
to? And I'm like, it's what happens,
You
Ash.
gotta put
Sometimes
some
you've
in.
got to wear a tampon and a pad.
I think having free flow access to each other's
Yeah.
phones and maybe even computer, fine, it's their computer.
Look, I think
but
if
I
it's a-
think logging in on their own computer is a bit weird.
Definitely not.
Like,
I don't
Definitely
think.
creeping.
you can go a bit too deep pre-relationship there.
Look, if you want to go creeping, I'm all for it. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I don't
you
even
are
have a
for-
password on my laptop. Just hit enter and you're in.
but like, I don't really, I don't care about
That's not good safety.
them going
Your
through
IT person
everything.
needs to sort that out.
I think like the only thing I'm a bit iffy is maybe going through my personal journal,
Oh, where you like
my own,
diary
my
journal,
own personal journal.
which is fair.
That's
Yeah, that's
probably-
100%
that's
fair.
probably the only
That's
thing.
because you can't
But-
talk to anyone on that.
But
Like,
even if they did read it, I would just more question as to why they wanted to read it.
yeah,
That's it.
I
Like,
think that's fair.
I think it's on them more than it is on me. Like if you want to read my personal thoughts and feelings, okay, that's fine.
yeah, like I'm not cheating on you. In my
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
journal.
in my journal, like.
And then you read second page.
I have my novel
Nick's
happy.
inner thigh. Now I know why.
It's like a goose.
What's that girl's
where you can pick the ending.
And then at the bottom, there's a line: Nick, Ash.
Taylor.
With love hearts. With love hearts all
And then
around them.
there's
With
another
love
line that
hearts.
goes all the way around. Taylor.
With
Ooh,
love
that
hearts.
After Dark episode. Oh yes, I remember.
With hearts.
With hearts and an arrow.
So, wow, yeah, that tied in nicely. Who's got the next one?
All right, I've got one.
Go on,
That's
Jazz.
probably a bit of a laugh. But, like, good.
She feels like an
Backing out.
Do you still check in on your ex on social media?
actively go to their profile to check,
What's your
or do you
version of
follow them?
I don't know. Do you follow them?
To be fair, I consider myself to have a very stable relationship. Like, not that there's much of a relationship. What the fuck? Sorry, she knows something I don't. Stable is probably not the word, but
Amicable.
civil.
Amicable.
Yeah, amicable.
That's what I was going to say. Stable is not the fucking word.
No,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I take that back. Fuck, what was I thinking?
I thought that stable was fine.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, you could relate.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stable? Yeah.
Cut from the
Steady.
same cloth. Anyway,
Exactly. It's all right.
Coffee Tuesday.
I think amicable. It's like, yeah, we didn't work. Cool, move on. And if you don't need to block your ex on everything. Like, unless there was why?
I think that's so funny.
Why do you need to block them? If I blocked every ex I ever had, fuck, I'd have no Facebook friends. Like, God.
No followers.
There wouldn't be 26 people on the podcast.
I'm a blocker.
You're a
Are you?
blocker.
Why?
Yeah,
Well, I
once-
couldn't give two fucks.
Once you okay, I use an analogy today with a piece of string. Like once that string's cut with me, I
In
don't
the
want to
bin.
see ya. I don't want to hear about
Done.
ya.
But I think I've always been good at cutting the string before
Have
it
your
gets to
strings
that.
been good or bad?
Like I think I'm
Mostly your strings are bad.
Bad.
Clearly.
That's why.
Only one
Clearly.
that's good.
That's
well,
why.
like
Is it good? Is it good a follower?
yeah.
Oh, they did. Like,
Yeah,
So
and
it
actually-
depends on the end. Depends on the end.
It does.
Um,
It does.
We'd still do work at the office or the firm that she works for.
Do you,
Okay. And I actually did this the other day. I just quickly logged on just to see if she still worked there.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done. I didn't know about this.
I tell everything. Only because I was like, oh, that's interesting. We're still obviously getting work from them. I wonder if she's there.
Yeah.
Because if she's not, then they've kept us because
Yeah, because
of
with the
the
good
service.
words.
Yeah, that
Good-
was the intention.
Good
Yeah.
recovery, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Dreaming. It's coming.
Then I went and did the job myself. Nah.
Because you're still the receptionist.
What about you, Dad?
Can you open the comms room?
Well, I do
No.
work for my ex too. I go to his house. Rent
All
inspection.
the time.
Rent inspection. That bed wasn't there. Nah, I'm definitely not a blocker. I couldn't care less. Like I
Do
don't.
they follow you or
Same.
you follow them?
I don't know.
If
I
you're at
haven't.
peace, who fucking cares?
Like I'm not really on my
Yeah.
Facebook enough. Like I endlessly scroll,
Or
but I'm not.
Instagram?
But I'm not on there enough to be like, oh, I wonder who's following me. I couldn't give two fucks.
I'm gonna
if
check
you follow
right
me-
now if my last 3 exes follow me.
My sister's a big influence with me. They're like, why is such and such still on your Instagram? Oh, fuck, I don't care.
Oh, so they're vigilant.
Ah.
They're protective.
Protective,
They're
yeah.
vigilant.
Yeah, see, I didn't think I couldn't care less. But my sisters,
Some of my exes still follow me, and shout out to them. I don't follow them. They still follow me.
Okay, I've just checked. All of my 3 exes still follow me.
Yeah, like I think like great. Like I love how your life is. I don't follow you, but like I love that your life is great, and I hope you think my life is great, and I hope we've moved on to bigger and better things, and let's just champion that. Like we were
Like
at,
one day,
like,
we live in fucking Perth. You'll have to see him in the street one day.
I'm not. Mine are all in fucking
Oh,
Sydney,
see?
so it's great.
I can
That's
imagine
what
me
I love
like,
about it.
oh, fuck, I blocked it.
I never have to be worried about like, you know, when you go to the shops and you're dressed like a fucking potato head. Like
It's me and my best.
you got your Crocs on.
but there was once I
And
ran
you're
into an
strung.
ex that was still working at Coles.
Wasn't it with my mother?
Yes, with her mum. We were at Coles with her mum, right? And
Felicia
and
would
then the
have been
only
like,
time I really checked
I
up,
killed the
and that was
bitch.
the first time I actually only ever checked up on an ex on Facebook, was because we're at Coles, we're in the checkout, and
You
she
were like,
was
"Oh, go on."
no, and she was serving us, and then I was like, oh yeah, and then we're just thinking, I'm with Felicia, and we're just shopping,
But can you
and
imagine
then
what the ex was
literally
thinking?
she's looking at me,
Why is
she's
he
like,
with this who the fuck is this old lady with this with
but then
him?
but I had no idea who the fuck
Wog
she
lady
was.
too.
I completely forgot. She looked completely different, and I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Oh hi, how are you?" I'm like, "Good."
Yeah, good mate.
And
Yeah.
how are you? She's like, "Do you remember me?" I was like, "No, I can't say I do. Sorry." And she's like, "It's so and so." I'm like,
Well, fuck.
"No way." And she's
Wait,
like,
it must
"Yeah."
have been years. Like years.
I love it.
No, it was probably 2 years, but no, the difference, and I mean, like, then I checked her up on Facebook. I'm like, all right, so she's still with that same motherfucker that she left me with, and she's the same size as him.
Stupid.
So it's like, okay,
Actually, size
now
doesn't matter.
No, but what I'm saying is like,
It's all about
Say
the
picture.
Comparisons.
Yeah.
yeah, comparisons. Like
Yeah.
from when she was with me, and then when that happened, I was like, oh my god, like
Wow.
I think I got off scot-free here.
Oh, I hope you're happy out there.
Yeah, no, like,
And I'm-
I
and
love
I'm
that
pretty
my
sure she
exes-
is.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she is, but like that's the thing. Like that was probably the only time.
I love that they follow. Like I'm like I wish all the best for you, and I hope we've learnt something from each other. And like, great.
So, Nick, you're a strict blocker?
it.
Strict? Or like...
70-30.
I remember when I was with my ex-partner, Alex, and I think we had this same discussion as a group, as a round table discussion. And I remember you said to my ex-partner, oh, like, you'd never delete Taylor. Would you? Like, you would never block
Yeah.
her. And he was like, oh, like, I can't say that. I don't know. Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Would you block Taylor?
Like, you wouldn't block me.
I've definitely unfollowed Ale.
Oh we've unfollowed
We've
each other.
100%
But he's an
unfollowed.
unfollower.
I'm 100% unfollower.
He's an
Like if
unfollower.
she's pissed me off, I don't want to see because we're still together.
You
Like
fucking
I
live
don't,
here.
I couldn't care less what you're doing on Facebook now. Like I don't,
No.
because I'm that type as well. Like when we're going through our break, I don't want to see what she's doing on Facebook.
And when we're going through our break, I'm fabulous.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see that. Like
I'm
whatever.
living
I
the
don't-
prime.
I don't care,
Better
like-
life. I've never had this life. Like, you know, best life ever. I'm walking on fucking
And she
gold.
came running back. No.
I'm walking on gold.
No.
And
Like,
how did that go,
absolutely.
babe? Is that
But
going
no,
good?
like, and then
I
like I
walk
would
the
just
gold.
unfollow. I don't want to see that. Like, by all means, like, yeah, okay, whatever happened, like, what happened with us, that's fine. Like, I understand that. I cop that. I don't need to see what's happening, what you're doing if you're out with Taylor, with whoever else. I don't care. Like, that's fine.
You do you, boo.
You do you. Like that. This is what this is about. You do you. I don't need to see that. I need to work on myself. I'm not going to work on myself if I'm seeing you
That's
at a
very
fucking
And we're
strip
probably
club.
like, fuck, we wish he'd post
Like,
something.
what do we
Come
do?
on.
Do the
Post something.
titties.
When was the last time he was online?
But then if I knew she was with Taylor, I'd be checking Taylor's Facebook. Taylor hasn't put a story up yet. I wonder if it's because she's with Ale.
Oh, she's too fucking
No,
drunk.
but that's the thing. Like I don't care less. I don't track it. Like I don't care. I don't unfollow. I don't block except for Ale. But that was just in that. But that was just in that period because we're still in the same house.
We had a hush moment, guys. Maybe we'll get into it deep one day.
Side note, just remembered something funny today in the office. I was typing an agreement to a new client that wanted to sign, and I looked at Ebony and I was like, how do you spell Nicholas? and she spelt it out, and I typed it, and I was like, nah, it doesn't look right. And she's like, yeah, blah blah blah. And I looked back at it, and she's like, isn't your partner's name Nicholas? And I'm like, his name is Nick. I'm not sure. And then I was like, oh, it's all good. I'll get his ID up. And then I got his ID up, and then I compared it to your Instagram or maybe
Nicholas.
Facebook, and I was like, no, it's spelt the same. Yeah, no, fuck.
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
It's one of those names where if you look at it long enough, it's like, what does that say?
Yeah, that's true. If you look at a
Do you
word long
agree?
enough.
Yeah.
It's like if you look at towel. I did it too the other day. The word towel.
Now, yes.
I was like, what is that word?
Towel.
It's not the one. Have we got another
Alright.
question or are we done?
I think I've got one more.
Oh, is this a wild card or is it on the
So,
list?
I think I need to pee.
So do
and
I.
then
Launch.
we'll do the last one.
Yep, I'm busting.
All right.
Same.
Alright, let's do it.
Wait, we need to reach out for more, yeah, because we're going to run out.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
this week.
Dale.
Okay,
Get
guys.
Dale to write some
We're
questions.
back. Oh, that's
We
saucy
are
mix.
back after our break. And we've got one more question from us, and then we head to the black box. Okay, guys. So my last question, relationship question is: would you contemplate keeping your relationship open? Ever?
Oh, who's going to start it?
Who's gonna start this one?
I will contemplate keeping it open, depending on how bad the situation is, and if I still wanted to be with that person.
Wait, so your relationship has to be bad to be open?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wait, I'm like, wait
well,
a minute.
let him finish.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess depending on circumstances, right?
I,
So if things were turning to shit, like, and you didn't have that physical connection, but you still
And that
had
was a
had
fix,
an emotional, and you still had an emotional connection with that person, and everything else in your life was still great, but just physically you weren't feeling it anymore.
I feel that. No, I feel like that's a good
I would
answer.
say, why not? Like,
Wait,
if
but you weren't
you're,
having an emotional connection?
No, you were. That's all you
so
had.
if everything
You were.
else was, but the physical for the both of you wasn't there anymore, 100%. Keep it open.
How do you establish the physical isn't there for the both
When
of
you're
you?
not having
Wait,
sex for like a
wait.
year, I guess.
And then don't physically.
But like everything else, like you're still like, how are
Like, do
you?
know what I mean?
How was
I'm
your
wondering, How
day?
does that not seep through the physical and the emotional?
You just don't feel physically attracted to that person anymore. Like you don't see that.
Yeah, there's two components.
Okay, so you're saying that you would only contemplate keeping your relationship open if there was if all your elements in the relationship weren't being fulfilled.
Yeah.
So therefore there would have to be something missing
Which
for you
is the
in
physical.
order for you to keep it open. Is that
Which
correct?
is the physical. Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Nick.
Because and then if you don't have an emotional attachment to that person or everything else
Fucking
was turned to
break up.
shit, then
break up. Like,
you're flogging a dead horse. Give it up. then that's when you give it up.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Just
so the only one thing out of the whole relationship needs to be, but if just the physical was broken, and if that's all it was, if the open relationship was, maybe just sleep with someone else from time to time. But you're open about it.
Okay.
And I think that's where open is. You got to be open about that.
Yeah.
There's a difference to being open to it and saying, "Oh, I'm going to do it." Like, open to it is open to the conversation. Like, okay, is that you?
Yeah. Sorry.
I think open to it
Sorry, that
is
was my
not
bad.
like the second your partner brings it up, going, "Absolutely not." Like, no way. I think you
Was
have
that
to
the question?
be willing
Like-
to hear them out. Are you open to it? That's the
Would you
Okay.
contemplate keeping your relationship open? Keeping it open. Would you ever contemplate?
Which means
Would you keep it open? So besides just the two of you?
no,
No. So you're not an opener.
no.
You're a two-man band. Is that what you call it?
Never, no
that's
matter
two-man.
what, no matter what the
No
circumstance.
matter what the circumstances.
You would rather. It's basically, would you rather break up with the person than consider that alternative?
I don't. See, that's where you're putting a bad connotation.
No,
to
no,
it.
no.
I feel
I don't
like-
think it being open is bad.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
regardless, I
I
don't
don't
think,
think so
it's
either.
bad. Because, like, you,
I think we're putting a bad connotation to. We're saying, would you rather break up or keep it open?
No.
Yeah.
Look, I see how you're hearing
Yeah,
it like that,
yeah.
but that's not how I'm thinking it.
Okay.
yeah, I would only consider it open or consider the open relationship if it was X, Y, and Z. But it has to be on, like, if it was like a breakdown of the physical.
But
That
if there was nothing
there would have to be
lacking, I don't
something
think it would
bad.
be considered. Like at that.
But that's what I'm going to say. Like,
Yeah.
what's stopping it if there is nothing lacking? Like, it's just another element.
No,
Yeah.
then
That's what I'm thinking.
if there's nothing lacking in the relationship and you're both just like, fucking let's spice it up a bit, great.
I think I'm just being real, like, cutthroaty.
Cutthroat,
And
yeah.
I think from what I've seen, it's all right exploring it, talking about it, doing it. But then I think the issue that I have is once that's all happened, you get into a very unhealthy environment. Maybe I'm generalizing now because
Why does it become unhealthy?
I guess the person that is sitting back, so the other partner that's
So you're
But
saying
the
if
idea
there's
that
one
neither are.
person,
So if someone has reservations about it, then
all you're
And they're
saying
doing
Or
is
it maybe
someone's-
because they feel forced to, because the other one wants to. Is that what you mean?
yeah.
I think that the whole idea
Well,
of
you
an
should-
open relationship is
Is
that it
both.
benefits both.
Yeah.
Equally.
That's
And if it's
then
not,
I was yeah.
if it's
then,
not, then it's not going to work.
yeah, fair enough.
Uh,
It's a discussion, but I don't know if I would. It's definitely a discussion. I haven't really put much thought into
So
it.
would you be open to the discussion? That's
For
what I'm saying.
sure, for sure.
Okay. Because for some people it's like, fuck it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
Well, a lot of people I feel like it's
yeah, I think for a lot of people, yeah, 100%. A lot of people will be like, "Nah, sorry, he's mine, she's mine, not happening."
yeah.
I think it came up on the After Dark episode. That will never be released. So I'll say it again. And I think human behavior and being with one person for life and never letting slip that you find someone else attractive or is so unhealthy. And I think
I think it's
if you're
unrealistic.
in a
It is
relationship
unrealistic.
with someone and you say to your partner, "Oh, fuck, that guy's hot," they get shitty. But okay, just because you said it out loud, like you can't tell me that you never find another female attractive just because you're with me.
I actively tell you.
but finding someone unattractive or
But
attractive
no, you
is-
don't really frequently. I think not as frequently as it actually happens. And I think that that's where, okay, you don't say anything for 15 years in the relationship. You keep your mouth shut, you keep it zipped, and then suddenly you let slip like, "Oh, they're attractive." And then like, what the fuck? No, it's fucking normal.
It's-
And yeah.
Yeah, normal's the word. I was not normal, but it's just human.
It's unhealthy to
human nature.
train
Yeah.
your brain to think that your partner is only attracted to you.
And
They're
that your
not.
partner's the only attractive person in the world.
It's so fucked up. No, but that's it. We're laughing at it, but that is how so many relationships work. Oh fuck, you looked at her, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, like
This will
Sorry?
probably rip up everything I've said tonight, but like,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'll
okay.
often go back to evolution, but like the whole idea of a relationship naturally, it was never meant to be there.
But okay, no, the idea of a relationship
then
was,
why
but
would
a
you think
partner
it
for
will work
life
for you
probably
this
wasn't.
way?
I think that's
Yeah.
what you're getting at.
So that, hang on,
So then why would you think it would work for you this way?
I'm not saying it will. Like, I'm saying,
I think you're getting 2 points confused. The idea of a relationship in human nature is normal, but the idea of having a partner for life is probably a bit more unnatural. And some people bend the rules to make it work. Yeah, cool. But that doesn't mean
but
that
does
they
it work?
But they don't. That does no. But my butt's coming. But that doesn't mean that they don't find other people attractive, or they don't have moments here or there where they go, "Oh, I could."
So
It's just like this perfect world that their partner thinks, "Nope, they love me. They're attracted to me. That's it." No, he would never stray. He's fucking looking.
So are you
Like-
saying
Which is
from
healthy.
having
Correct.
those moments, it's a healthy open
For
relationship?
sure.
Yeah, that
Wait, it's
is
a healthy open relationship?
I don't think it's an open relationship.
I think having a moment where you look at someone and think that, or even if you look at them and say it, that's not an open relationship. An open relationship is physical interaction to me.
Oh, to you.
To
Okay.
me.
Yeah,
I don't know what it means to
Oh,
everyone else.
that's what it definitely would mean to me.
Okay.
Yep. Alex,
I don't think it just means physical.
you
I
think
don't-
it's just being able to have the discussion?
No, I think like there's different relationships that you can have with different people because they have different elements that they can fulfill within you.
That others can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
think like there's like different like conversations that you can have with people. I feel like there's different sexual connections that you can have with people that other people can fulfill that not always one person can fulfill. I think
just the idea
setting-
of talking to someone new is
think-
like, oh god, breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I think like having the expectation that your partner can feel yourself emotionally, sexually, and all the elements that fall into those categories is ridiculous.
But maybe they
I do think
can
that's
sometimes,
ridiculous.
but surely not all
no,
the time.
I think they
Surely
can.
not
I think
all
they
the
can.
time.
I think they can. But like you also evolve as a person. So if you're learning and growing,
Yeah.
surely,
Can anyone
like-
keep up with anyone else?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
surely we're all evolving in different ways and learning different things. Like I just don't think.
And if you're strict enough and like committed enough to be like, yep, I absolutely say that I can commit to one person and change with them and grow with them, like great, good on you.
It's almost like
I don't know yet.
It's
I don't
almost
know.
like change with them, grow with them,
Yeah.
not only them.
Yeah, but there's a difference. With them, yes, only them, very different. And that's the difference between
Yeah.
the monogamous and the
All the
Yeah.
other,
Feminists
I'll say,
that's out there.
plethora of things that there are out there. But yeah, I think it's hard to identify what that is because I think a lot of people don't talk about what that is. I don't know any other relationships that have anything outside of their own relationship. I don't know because no one discusses that.
I
So
think
when you're
I'm too
saying
early
an
in this
open
relationship to
relationship, do you also mean like having a closer friendship with someone else or an actual relationship
Relationship. I
that
mean, like,
doesn't just involve physical?
no.
So
Yes.
an emotional relationship.
But friendships
So would
involve
that be?
that. I think there's
that's
a
what I'm
line-
saying.
there's
Then
a
wouldn't
line
that just
there that's
be
hard.
if it doesn't involve physical? Then isn't it just a friendship?
I guess it depends how deep you go on the
yeah,
chats.
I think it depends. Like how you feel about conversation.
Well, like say for example, right? There's probably as a guy you would probably say to your guy friends more on a different, I guess, emotional level that you would think only your mates would understand. So then does that mean that you have a relationship with your friend?
Nah.
No, so that is like saying like, what if I went to a male and all I did was talk to him about what I considered was intellectual things? What
Then
would that be considered?
a
An
friendship.
intellectual?
Yeah, specialty chat.
I would just have a friendship. Like unless you were talking to them about like, I don't know, stuff that actually involve a relationship.
So you think if
Intimately
it's not
about your
sexual-
relation. No. Like intimately about
So you think
relationship.
if you're not having a physical sexual relationship, then you're okay. You're not crossing the line.
No,
Yeah,
not
mate.
just that, but I think if you're having an emotional
Emotion, yeah.
relationship, then it's about things that involve a relationship rather than it just being about
Nah, I think
I
there's
do.
different
Otherwise,
emotions.
it's just a friend.
There's different emotions I feel when I speak about intellectual things. There's way different emotions that I cannot speak to anyone else about who understands or who has studied what I have. There's way different things.
Like what?
It's like saying, Nick, if you have a conversation, I don't know how into music you are, Taylor, but like if you have
I'll have Jimmy Barnes.
another conversation with
Coaches
another
who?
woman about making music and how it feels and what it looks like and your creativity, it's different.
Yeah, no, I can see where you're going with it.
Do you know what I
I don't
mean?
know if I'd
And it's different.
get turned on emotionally by it. Like that's
Okay.
yeah.
It would, yeah. I wouldn't say that as a relationship.
Well,
I
I
would just say
think
that
I
as a
think
I don't know if
friendship.
I see
Preference.
it.
That's
I don't know if I
personal
see it
preference.
as a relationship.
Yeah, but I don't
like, I
think
see
it
it
would
as
be
a-
under
as
an
like-
open
I feel like you would
relationship.
extract the personal qualities that.
What would you say
come
to your
with that.
partner about that? Hey, there's a chick that
Just
I
been
really
chatting deep.
that I really click with, and like we talk on our own, and you're not invited to the fucking party because
Well, I can tell you.
You know
a
what I
real
mean?
Sounds familiar.
example. At,
You don't
at
get
a
it?
party the other day, we ran into another fellow muso.
Where was the party?
The party was in Ashfield. Let's just say that. And she was
Oh
talking
no,
about.
this isn't a good example at all.
I won't even
At
say
all.
it then.
Okay.
It's a shocking example.
Okay. But yeah, like
you know when you just like look at a conversation and you're like, oh, what a mess. Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay. All right. So no one sees where I'm coming from?
Do you? Sorry, unless you felt. I don't want to override your emotion. Unless you felt a deeper emotional connection than I did there.
Well, she could talk all
Take
day
the
about
floor.
keyboards and stuff, but I'm like,
No,
I'm
I
not.
don't think she could. I think it would divert to her other interests.
Karate
Karate.
Karate.
Yeah.
and her right foot.
Yeah. Nah, bad
Look,
example.
I don't think you're on your own. I
just
think
think,
I
like,
feel
there's
as though you're
different- yeah,
you're
there's
what
different
you would call a
intellectual
relationship, like an intellectual relationship. I would just say it as a deeper friendship. That's it. I wouldn't say it as a relationship because it doesn't involve anything that.
So
I do
involves
think
the
a
physical.
relationship involves maybe not even physical, but the desire to be physical.
Okay, so the desire.
Maybe it's different. Yeah, if
Okay.
you've thought about it or you've maybe acted on it, or if the desire is there to take it further than the initial conversation, maybe very deep conversation, then that's where I would see it as the next step.
Yeah, same. But if you're just talking about a freaking book you read in a deeper level, like, no, you're not in a relationship.
So
about your right
what's
hook.
the answer to the question then? Would you contemplate keeping your relationship open?
On in my form of open relationship, yes, I will be open
What's
to the
your form? What do we?
Yeah, we
do
covered
not-
that. I think we all
We'll
eventually.
just
I
rewind
think.
on that one.
I
No.
think we all eventually got to the yes. We would be open to the chat.
Yeah.
In all different forms and different.
Yeah,
Say-
But the chat would evolve for. But you're saying for everyone is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the chat would have to lead to a physical connection, not so much an emotional connection.
No, either.
No, I
Either
think I
or.
think you would have to have emotional regardless. Oh, look,
Well,
maybe not.
like
Look, I'll be open to.
you're
I
all
would, no.
confusing me.
So my thing was, I would be open to the conversation or open to the open relationship.
because then I feel like how dumb would I sound
if it was
like,
just to
I
fulfill.
had this really amazing conversation with this guy about psychology. It was so good.
Okay, what's
Like,
your mate's
I'm just
name?
saying.
I'd say, oh, why don't you marry him?
She probably would.
Oh, there goes your little boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Yuck.
How's he feeling?
How's Ash feeling about that? Fuck, I hope he's not running.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, nah. So like, if it was
okay, so would it be like, I just met this boy and we talked about psychology and it was amazing and now I want to fuck him.
No, you
Think like I would have
Not
to go there?
necessarily,
What do you
no.
mean? I'm trying to understand, guys. I actually don't understand you guys. Then
I think it would be a discussion with your prior partner.
prior
Or with your
my
partner.
current
About your current partner. Sorry, no out of the box partners, whatever. About with your current partner
Yeah.
about, okay, if this arose, why not? And if it was something you both went, yeah, go on.
But then I'm
Yeah.
concerned that, like,
Yeah.
to get to that conversation starter, like, something would already be missing.
I don't think
Perhaps.
so. I think even if you had it all, what's okay?
We're a
You've got a
selfish
spicy
society,
curry.
Nick. Sometimes
Why
we
not
want
spice
more.
it up a bit more?
I don't know,
but
just
maybe
like curiosity
maybe
could.
before it gets to that point, you're thinking, "Fuck it, let's spice it up a bit."
Yeah, then wouldn't you just do like a swingers
Absolutely, swingers parties.
rather than keeping it open?
We'll take
You know what I mean? No, but I'm just saying, like, Like,
Yeah.
but wouldn't you just do that then? If that was the case, then wouldn't you just do that rather than having an open relationship?
Party is very fucking different than just having an open
Can I just say one
relationship.
thing? Taylor would take in your car
I will
and
not.
dropping your keys in the bowl.
Sorry, what? Do you drop keys in a bowl? I don't know that.
No, that's just
Sorry,
a-
I'm
that's
so
just
Swingers terminology.
well, sorry, I'm very uneducated. I don't swing to date. I'm open to it if you want to.
Open
All
for
right,
the
Nick,
conversation.
we'll go.
Well, let's do it.
We'll take my car.
Comment below for the
Start
next
the
swingers
engine.
party.
Yeah,
I'm still
that's
actually
huge.
confused by the conversation. Just FYI.
I think everyone said they would be open to it.
Open to the conversation. Just
But everyone's reasoning on why they would be open to it is very different.
Is
I
different.
think
Yeah.
we're a step back to where your question was leading. Your question was leading, would you be open to doing it? But I think everyone's in agreement that
They would be open to
the
chat about
chatting.
why we would do it.
Yeah, so
that's another can of worms.
it's a no. No.
It's a hard no from Nick, guys.
Boring.
Oh.
Wait for part 2, guys. Part 2 is coming.
I'm going to work tomorrow.
Good.
All right, guys. Well, you have to wait for part 2. We have to wait
Do
and
not
see.
commit to a part two right now for the
part
love
2.
of God.
For the after dark. We've got
where
a chat
the-
to have this
hopefully-
week.
Part 2 will be Nick and Taylor have the chat and they go to a swingers party.
And someone may come out with a broken nose.
And then we're meeting at Penthouse.
See you there, guys.
All right, good night,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you. Take
Good
care.
night.
Bye.